come on in and let me tuck you in for an evening of thriller crime news articles for your bedtime pleasure. My name is Emmy with Denver, where a 38-year-old cold case murder trial to an infamous killer has finally been solved. Pleasure, and we will go over it. 38-year-old cold case murder tied to infamous Denver area serial killer Sheriff's Office on Tuesday. Using modern DNA and forensic analysis, investigators determined that the killer of Rhonda Marie Fisher was found dead in 1987 was Vincent Groves, believed to be responsible for at least a dozen killings in the metro Denver area during the 1970s and the 1980s, according to a news release from the sheriff's office. Groves was involved in ex-trafficking and drug distribution and had been convicted of murder in 1982, only to be released and commit additional crimes after serving fewer than 5 years, according to the release. He died in custody in 1996, and after he was convicted of 2 additional murders. While Vincent Groves cannot be held accountable in a court of law, we hope this long-awaited resolution brings answers and a measure of peace to Rhonda Fisher's family and friends, said the Douglas County Sheriff Derek Weekly in the release. This case is a testament to our commitment to pursue justice for every victim, no matter how much time has passed. What connected Groves to Fisher was the examination of DNA evidence recovered from paper bags that had been initially placed on the victim's hands to preserve trace evidence, according to the release. The evidence recovered from the bag matches that of DNA found at the scene of 3 1979 homicide Groves committed in Denver. The only thing that was left that had not been touched from the original case in 1987 were these brown paper bags, said Shane Williams, forensic analyst with the office. At a Tuesday news conference via a YouTube recording. Other items had been sent for testing in 2017. Otherwise, the brown paper bags had never been tested before. Fisher's body was discovered by a passing driver on April 1st, 1987, on an embankment in the 35 block of South Perry Park Road, according to the release. She had been assaulted and strangled prior to her death. Fisher was 30 years old at the time she was killed, according to the release. Authorities attempted to reach out to surviving family members, but could only find a cousin, officials said at the news conference. In the weeks leading up to her death, Fisher had been staying with various people, one of whom she was initially a person of interest, but was ultimately cleared in the case, according to the release. The night before, she had been seen walking north on Monaco Street toward Leetsdale Drive in Denver. Weekly noted that during the news conference that Groves was a janitor supervisor with his job sites throughout the Denver area, which gave him a significant amount of access. He also said that there are likely other victims of Groves that have not been identified by authorities. Rhonda was a mother, a daughter, a sister, a cousin, a niece, and her family members have waited nearly 4 decades for answers. I'm glad they got the news that they were looking. This next will bring you chills to your spine if you're in this area. This is coming from Fox News article in Texas. Texas community after dozens of bodies pulled from the lake cannot be ignored. Forensic psychiatrist questions authorities' dismissal of Lady Bird Lake serial killer theory as young man is found Ed. And this was published back in July 5th, 2025. The waters of a Texas lake remain shrouded in a mystery as dozens of young men's bodies continue to be pulled from the depths, putting a community on edge as rumors of a serial killer continue to swirl. Last month, authorities discovered yet another man's body in Austin's Lady Bird Lake, bringing the total count to a whopping 38 individuals recovered from the water since 2022. Officials responded to an early morning 9 a body in the water to Fox News Digital. There is no trauma to the body, and police do not suspect foul play was involved. The APD said the department is currently working to determine whether the body recovered is a 17-year-old male reported missing 2 years earlier. The teen's family called police after he got out of his kayak without wearing a life jacket and subsequently disappeared while enjoying a day on the lake, authorities said. Investigators believe he had unknowingly stepped on an underwater shelf and failed to resurface after his kayak was later recovered with his backpack and life jacket still inside. Police revealed that the individual found in the lake was wearing the same clothing as the missing teenager, but identification is pending. The discovery comes as fears of a serial killer lurking in the community's midst continue to loom over the area, with local authorities continue to downplay the risk. The denials by law enforcement and other authorities that these cases are murders or the work of a serial killer are premature. Dr. Carol Lieberman, a forensic psychiatrist, and expert trial witness, told Fox News Digital. They don't want the public to panic about a possible serial killer, so they are making light of all the deaths. Since 2022, at least 38 bodies have been recovered in or around Lady Bird Lake, according to data obtained by Fox 7. Of the nearly 3 dozen bodies found, 30 have reportedly been men, with approximately 60% between 30 and 49 years old. Despite local authorities' insistence that there is no ongoing risk to the public, Lieberman points to the sheer amount of consistencies among victims' ages and gender. The fact that 30 of the 38 bodies found in and around Lady Bird Lake since 2022 are male does suggest that this could be the work of a serial killer whose preferred target is men, Lieberman said. If the deaths were simply due to accidental drowning or suicide, there would not be a preponderance of one gender over the other. One common theory circulating throughout the community suggests the deaths are results of a date ape, drugs slipped into drinks of victims visiting bars on nearby Rainy Street, a popular hotspot for partying near the water. In February 2023, the body of Jason John, 30, was pulled from the lake 1 week after he was last seen on Rainy Street. 2 months later, Johnny Hooney, 33, was found 1 day after he was last seen visiting a food truck parked on a popular street. Day 8 Uggs could render them easy prey for the thief and killer, Lieberman said. Older men similarly be easier prey. Throughout the past 3 years, the primary cause of death of the bodies pulled from Lady Bird Lake have been attributed to accidental drownings, Fox said, reported. Suicide reportedly remains the second leading cause, as well as natural causes and UGG overdoses. Of the 38 deaths, only one has been ruled an murder, with roughly a dozen cases remaining unknown. One cannot rule out that the so-called accidental drowning isn't the result of murder unless there are witnesses who were told Fox News Digital. Murderers can use drowning as their modus operandi. Similar suicides must be proven, not just assumed, if someone has been depressed. Additionally, Uberman pointed to the attractiveness of disposing human remains in bodies of water. Water can cause decomposition of the body and can wash away evidence from fingerprints to DNA, Lieberman said. If the water's movement, oops, if the water has movement such as the river or stream, it can propel the body far from the actual scene of the crime, making it more complicated to find the killer. Some Illers choose water construed as drowning, which make it harder because it can be difficult to differentiate drowning from murder. In a 2023 statement, APD looked to quell the public spirit, sweating the possibility of a serial iller targeting men in the area, citing the lake's dangerous conditions mixed with alcohol. One common theme of the drownings in Austin in 2023 is the combination of alcohol and easy access to Lady Bird Lake, which has numerous access points, the department said. Police pointed out to the vast majority of deaths at the time occurred after the park's closing time and encouraged community members to be mindful of local rules. APD has not found any evidence to support that these deaths are suspicious or connected to criminal activity, the department said in a statement to Fox News Digital. Of these incidents have been thoroughly investigated. The vast majority have been determined to involve factors such as mental health issues, natural causes like heart attacks, inability to swim, substance use, or underlying medical conditions. However, more and more victims continue to fall to the waters of Lady Bird Lake. Lieberman calls on authorities not to turn a blind eye to the morbid coincidence surrounding the deaths unless law enforcement finds some other explanation of the large number of deaths in and around Lady Bird Lake in recent years, Lieberman said. Then I think that the likelihood of a serial killer cannot be ignored. And that is your bedtime story. We hope that you stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.